Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unbounded podcast.
Unbounded. Brr, 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 brr.
We're gonna start doing that now.
Yeah.
We can at least do like gunshot sounds, like that would be fine with that. But we're on another episode. We got quite a few in store for you. I remember the last episode we started with New Year's resolution. Well, we didn't start. We were talking about New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolutions was the last one that we did.
And what you wanted to do and what I wanted to do.
Yes. So moving forward, I think we're done talking about ourselves for a little bit.
Hey.
So now moving forward to topics that involve everybody else.
Yeah, we don't matter, even though it's our podcast.
Exactly. We're not important in this one. Just kidding. Everybody's important. Everybody's got the job to do.
So before we get to that, keeping in line with staying with self-improvement and sticking to what we wanted to do. If you watched the last episode, I'm forcing myself to get back into the swing of making hip-hop a lot. And so I've kind of drug Sergio in on that journey with me because I know he's always been at least interested in like rapping and trying to do it. I mean, that's the thing. When you're creative, you understand that you have a greater scope and a greater capacity to do a bunch of stuff. So he's very rhythmic. I'm very rhythmic. We listen to a lot of the same music.
I'm a dancer. Comes naturally. I mean, come on. I listen to music all the time. Hip hop is one of the main things that I do. I've never ever in my life rapped. I would like to say I've written a few rhymes here and there, but before today, I don't think anybody's ever really heard it.
Oh, well, they heard it in the last episode.
Yes, but it was already written for me.
So we're gonna, if you remember, what was it, 2000 some whatever? Drake. Remember when he freestyled with his BlackBerry?
Yeah,
I'm Drake. So we're gonna Drake it today.
Of course,
we went through and wrote some sick rhymes.
Smartphones, though. Mine's really short, but I tried my best. Try to make it sound nice as best as I can.
So again, I'm breaking out the my old iPhone again because these apps are
Groove. What is it called?
Launchpad. This time we're using Launchpad.
Not Launchpad. Now we're using Launchpad.
So I'm gonna come up with the beat right quick. Sergio's gonna go first, and then I'm gonna go right after you.
I'm gonna go first.
Yes.
Oh,
support.
Christ, that's not how we practice.
All right, here we go.
Just kidding.
Feel it.
You still got more to add, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
So I'm gonna aim the microphone towards you a little more. There you go.
Here we go. Hey yo, it's Serge the Manriquez here with my man Dan. But that don't come as no surprise, seeing as we're on the rise. Don't close your eyes, you'll miss the greatness that applies. Slowly making our ascendancy to our higher purpose. No complexity, we're just confident like old dudes walking around shirtless. Unbounded.
I hit you with that saxophone.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
You're out here using like $5 words. Ascendancy. All right.
Yeah.
Yo, here we go. Hey, yo, it's Dan with the Manriquez, a podcast Unbounded so you don't know what's next. Looking like two armed suspects with massive intellect till we called it quit and we split with fat checks. So, here we go, listen to the flow, just so you know we acting unruly, yo. We out of the place like desert getting snow. Tune in a little more as we welcome you to the show. I kind of want to do that again.
Try it.
At least that last part. So here we go. Listen to the flow. Just so you know, we be acting unruly, yo. We be at a place like the desert getting snow. Tune in a little more as we welcome you to the show.
That was dope.
We got work to do.
That was dope. Me more so than you, but I mean, hey, it's all part of the journey.
Alright, so let's get right into it. Today, what are we talking about today? I don't even know what we're talking about today.
The 14th of February.
Well, I've had a lot of good Valentine's days. I've had quite a few that were good. Honestly, I really have. Shout out to.
I don't think I've ever had a date on Valentine's Day until my current girlfriend.
Oh. I once
like almost a year later.
I began a relationship on
Valentine's
Day. Yeah.
Holy!
It was my
How'd that go?
It was my longest running relationship of all time. I knew the person. I've known her for what's gonna be 14 years.
And it just so happens that we're talking about the 14th here.
Oh! We need
like the naughty.
No, I'm just kidding. We need like the. What is it? The X-Files?
There it is.
The X-Files. But no, I mean it's one of those things like Valentine's Day is such a romantic holiday for like no reason, I believe. There's no like justifiable reason to celebrate Valentine's Day, I think. But
well, is Valentine's Day the day of Saint Valentine? Like,
I don't know. Probably was he like a little baby type person shooting fools with arrows?
No, that wasn't the mainstream thing that came. Yeah. Okay, so February the 14th is Saint Valentine's Day. You know how like all saints have their own days or whatever?
Saint Valentine. Mm-hmm. San Valentin? Like
El Santo? The saint? Yes.
Yeah. The Tapatio guy?
No, fool.
Valentina?
What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, so here
I'm
it is.
very culturally uneducated.
All right, so Emperor Claudius II executed 2 men, both named Valentine, on February the 14th.
Wait, so what does that have to do with love?
Their martyrdom was honored by the Catholic Church with a celebration of Saint Valentine's Day. I guess later on, the same thing that they did with Christmas. Christmas wasn't even on the 25th of December. It was sometime before, and then to commercially, make it better or make a profit off of it, they made a holiday with it or something like that, Honestly, to be honest,
Valentine's Day started because 2 fools got killed.
Yes, in the 3rd century.
Let's commemorate them by giving each other chocolates.
So the first Valentine's Day was in the year 496.
Was it romantic back then? I don't think anything
having
could
a
have been
particular
romantic
Valentine's Day is a very old tradition thought to have originated from a Roman festival.
Oh, okay.
They had a festival called Lupercalia in the middle of February. It's officially the start of their springtime. So I guess it was springtime festival. But again, to push into consumerism or push consumerism onto people, it became St. Valentine's Day as we know it today, where men are obligated to buy flowers and chocolates and go all out, go broke on their women.
Or the other way around. Women buy their homies, buy their guys.
Their men, exactly, both ways. Please make it both ways. Don't let your guy be the only one doing something. Make your man feel special too.
Yeah. It's just me. But not to get too conspiracy theoristy. I've had quite a few good Valentine's Day.
Not to say I haven't had any bad ones too.
Bro, I've had some terrible Valentine's Days.
Really?
Yeah, like I've had some terrible ones, and I've had. Okay, so I have one really good, terrible Valentine's Day story.
I'm sorry. Before you go into it, when I was single, I used to tell people I would spend Valentine's Day with my ex, Box 360 or Xbox One.
It can't be the 360 because there's no looking back. Oh, that's 180. Xbox 180.
Oh my god.
Well, no, if you went with your ex and then went back with her and then left her and then came back with her again, that's a 360.
True. But yeah, well, I've been saying that since the 360 was a thing, and then it moved on to the Xbox One. But that's besides the point. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your number one best, and your number one worst. Let's go with your
best first, because my best one is I kind of already said it. Go with your best Valentine's Day, and then I'll go with my worst one.
You go first.
Okay, my best. I've had maybe 2 all-time good Valentine's Days. Not to say that I've had more than 2 that were good, but there's 2 that stick out that were really great. One of the first, my best Valentine's Day, I think for me was, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, I started one of my longest relationships, actual dating, making that transition from really good friends to actual dating. It was on the Valentine's Day.
14 years ago. Anyways.
There's some symmetry.
Okay.
There's some symmetry there.
So was it the best Valentine's Day you had at the moment, or did it become your best Valentine's Day as time went by because you started that long relationship on the 14th?
It was like wine. It aged very well.
Okay. All right.
You know, not to say that we took like a steep dive from there, but you know, we're no longer together. However, it's like, you know, when you break up with that person or they leave your life, you kind of remember all the good and all the bad. I mean, you remember the bad first, and then you take the good for what it's worth. And now I had it with this particular person. I have a lot of good memories, like because we've been through everything together. But that Valentine's Day kind of sticks out because it was like an origin story of sorts,
where everything began. In a world.
Shut up. There's a reason why. Never mind. I was gonna be like, there's a reason why they hired someone else to do it.
And that's how Unbounded got bounded.
All right.
Cancel.
So my anyway, long story short, my best Valentine's Day, it went. So at the time we were in, I think it was senior year, and I used to live really close to her. So I was
like right down the street.
Well, it was like maybe about a 2-mile walk.
That's not really close, but okay.
It was like a mile and a half. But so I mean, what did I do? I got her a gift, and I walked to her house, and then I gave it to her, and I guess she was feeling like depressed or whatever, because at the time, because I knew her and her ex-boyfriend, and I remember when they got together first, you know?
Yeah.
And then, so after that whole thing, it was like the second Valentine's Day that she'd gone through alone, and so I was just like, because they broke up, and then there was like a year, and then it was kind of coming around again, you know? Because they broke up in January, if I remember correctly. And then, so, you know, January and February is just like right so close. So it was like a full year and a half, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go give this to her Valentine's Day, and then so we made that transition there, and she loved it.
Well, that's pretty cute. That's awesome.
Shut your face. Your turn.
It's pretty cool. Well, okay. The best Valentine's Day I've had, like I said, I've never had a Valentine's Day, so it's going to be with my current girlfriend, Itzel. Love her to death. It was about a year, I think the year after we started dating, right before we hit the first month anniversary.
A year ago. I'm like, dang, dog.
No. Wait, was it a year? I think it was a year ago. Yeah, last year's Valentine's Day, because this will be the second Valentine's Day that I spend with her. Anyways, last year's Valentine's Day, she was going to school at EPCC. She had a class. I went there and surprised her with some balloons, some flowers. I had a card written out for her and everything, waiting for her when she got home. And she gave me this little basket. I'll see if I can find some pictures to send so we can clip it into this right now. But it was a little basket, and out of it were like these little sticks poking out, and each one of them had a candy, like a bar of candy. It was like Twigs, Snickers, a Crunch, and then 4 of them were 4 of our favorite pictures that we'd taken together that first year. On them, boom, boom, boom. So
like,
it was really well,
like mutually favorite pictures or
mutually favorite. So it was really well done. It was really, really pretty. She got me a new pair of shoes that day too, so that was nice.
Bro, he said it's got like Valentine's on lock.
Yeah, she does.
Bro,
I don't know why, but like every time we come around to this point in time, I have no money, but she's got all the money. It's just like. But anyways,
like this year she hooked you up.
Yeah, this year for Valentine's Day, my girlfriend went all out. So I need to step up my game and see what I'm gonna do.
Bro, it was like better than Christmas.
It was my Christmas. We're not gonna get into detail, but that was my best Valentine's Day ever.
Ooh, what was your worst? That sounded too exciting.
My worst.
What was your worst?
I think. Well, I mean, we all had really good ones and bad ones, and like when we were in grade school and everything. I think mine was like, I think it was 3rd grade or 4th grade. No, it was 2nd grade, and I just started making new friends because I got moved to a different track system. Do you remember when schools had track systems?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was in track 1 in first grade, and then I got moved to track 5 in second grade. So I was going to school at a completely different time than everybody else was. So I had to make new friends, and because I was brand new, I think I was in school for like 2 weeks before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I didn't get any cards or candies from the other classmates.
Dang.
That kind of it made me a little sad for like 5 minutes, but then I got over it. I started talking to people. They started sharing their shit with me, and we all became friends. And I had the same friends, well, all the way throughout 5th grade. That was the year the track system ended. So when I went to 3rd grade, everybody was on the same page, which was a little weird. When you start explaining track systems to people that didn't live in that period of time,
it just doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, I guess at a certain point in time it did.
Because in 1st and 2nd grade, bro, I have my birthday's in July. My birthday's July 26th. And 1st and 2nd grade, I celebrated my birthday in school. I was in school on my birthday in July.
What's wrong with that?
Well, now people, not like, if you tell that to a kid now in school, they're like, why were you in school in the summer?
Oh, I see.
You know what
I wasn't tracking. I just...
Like always. So, I mean... Yeah. Okay. So speaking of grade school and everything like that, especially 1st through 5th grade, you know, your teachers make it mandatory that you have to bring cards and candy for the whole class.
Right. Well, now they do.
Well, when I was in school, that's the way it was. From 1st to 5th grade, you had to bring for everybody.
Yeah, I think it's still like that.
I'm pretty sure it still feel like that now. How do you feel about that? The inclusivity, like having to include everybody in it. What if you don't like the kid?
I understand why they do it. Because I've been through the same thing where they're just like, oh, hey, happy Tuesday, you know. So, but I think that's kind of the inclusivity of it all is the way to save a lot of issues, like on a bigger scale. Right, but at the same time, it's like you're gonna bring extra gifts for the people that you like.
True,
you know?
That's right. So you bring a little extra something, kind of... right. Okay, yeah.
Right. So, like, if I'm bringing cards for everyone, I'm all right, cool. Then I'm going to bring something on top of that for, like, the squad, like my homies.
The full-size Snicker bars.
Right. And then, the girl that I'm really into, she's going to get, like, something on top of that the squad won't get. You know what I mean?
Rose petals.
So, I think at that point, you're almost making it worse than just not getting anything. But at the same time, I understand what it is like to not be included in absolutely everything, and that, like, you know.
So am I. So have I. I mean, I've had those moments. I mean, like in 2nd grade. But then again, I mean, like, well, I can't say everybody should be that way. But I mean, I was always the kid, and nothing ever really fazed me. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like with with a lot of the issues and a lot of things that go on now. It's kind of that whole mindset of inclusivity, right? To include everyone. I don't know. That's like you can justify including everybody, but in the same respect, should you include everybody? I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, I just had a thought. No, I mean, for Valentine's Day, it kind of makes sense. Okay, I'm going back on my own thoughts here, but I mean, it does kind of make sense to include everybody and make them feel kind of like special because it's not a competition.
Okay, but let me ask
you. Now,
let's
say we were in a competition, like, you know, if you were playing sports or something like that and you don't get a trophy, well, too freaking bad. You didn't play, so I'm sorry. You don't get shit.
So,
but for Valentine's Day, there's no
competition. Let me ask you a question. Is it better to be left out or given something out of obligation? Because that's how I feel about the whole being all inclusive when it comes, like, when you're kids. Because here's the thing, even as kids, you understand when somebody's being forced to do something for you. So do you feel better if they do it for you because they're forced to do it, or would you rather be left out?
I think at that point, you know what? I think at that point, in this instance, I think it would be better to get something out of obligation than not get anything at all. Because how many kids are in a grade school class? How many kids did I have? Like 20, 22 kids, including myself?
Right. So
let's say you're the one kid that don't get nothing from nobody.
All right, what's up, everybody? We just wanted to take a second out to thank you guys for checking out the podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, share it, put them out. We're going to be...
That's smashing the button right there.
I guess if you're on a phone. But definitely share it. Definitely put it out. This podcast is not only for us, but it's for, I guess, like-minded people who think it's pretty cool. We're going to be doing a lot of different things. We're going to be releasing projects through the podcast and then individually by itself. So we got just kind of some things that are in the works. Definitely like it, subscribe it, share it with your homies, share it with your family.
Comment, please leave a comment below. Tell us how we're doing.
If you're related to me, you better be watching this. I'm just saying.
Same here, man. Like mom, pops, brothers, sisters.
Bro,
I got a lot of people in my family. Cousins, y'all need to, por favor,
if I ever lent you money,
come on now.
like $2 and above, subscribe.
$2 minimum at least. I mean, come on.
If I ever bought you Taco Bell, you better be sharing this.
For real though.
If I ever bought you a burrito at Hyundai, you better. If I ever
what
bought
are you
a
pointing
Polar
at
Pop,
me for?
If I ever bought you a Polar Pop, you need to be sharing this.
Bought you Polar Pops, bought you chips, bought you candy bars.
I feel like
paid for gas.
I feel like we're just attacking each other now. So,
of course I share this. Come on now. Anyways, please hit that like. Please subscribe. Please comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you like about it. Let us know what you hate about it. Let us know what we should talk about next. Show 5 people. This episode. Just
send it. Don't even have any explanations. Just send it.
All
right. So
and on that note, back to the podcast.
Back to the episode. Yeah, but like
as I was saying, I think in this instance it would be better to get something from everybody than
instead
nothing
of from everybody.
Exactly, because I mean, like I said, 20 students in a class. Let's say there was 10, and you're the one dude or one girl out of that whole class, then don't get nothing from nobody. You must be doing something really wrong, but I mean, hey, it happens. People forget. It's not that they're bad people or whatever, but they might just slipped your name and not wrote it and left it at home or something. I don't know.
Right, and I guess that's the thing. It's like lesser of two evils type of thing. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no avoiding it because it's like people are gonna prefer specific people. If I remember correctly, there's somewhere that I heard that humans are only really capable of fully entertaining, like in depth, about 20 relationships at most. And it kind of
got like 5.
And it makes sense, you know what I mean? Because you can't keep up with everybody. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, you can't keep up with just everybody. Like, everyone you meet, you can, unless you become really good friends, they're never gonna be.
That's what Facebook is like. Commenting and reacting every once in a
while. There's maybe only like 20 people that you actually interact with, like 15 to 20 people. And I think about that, like, it makes sense because you have your parents, right, both as a unit and kind of individually.
Yeah.
Because you have conversations with your mom that you don't have with your dad. Same thing with your dad, or you have conversations with your brother, or you have conversations with like a close cousin or whatever, but you can't literally keep up with everybody. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. But in the same respect,
and people start moving out of state and out of town, it just gets more difficult. But I mean,
right.
Hey, whatever.
That's the thing. But that's a conversation for another thing. But I think that
episode,
whole
and
being inclusive, I think is.
I think here's. Let me break it down a little bit further. So inclusivity is a good thing for some things and a bad thing for other things. So like Valentine's Day, inclusivity, I feel it, I understand it. Let's keep doing it. But I'm not a supporter of participation trophies.
Yeah, I think it takes it takes all the incentive out of being good.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It that incentive of being great is lost when everybody kind of gets the same thing, because it kind of brews that whole mindset of like, it doesn't matter if I do my best, I'm still gonna get the same thing. Exactly. You know what I mean? It kind of brews that whole mindset of why try when everyone's gonna get the same thing?
Exactly.
You know, and in a certain,
I see why people started doing it, but at the same time, it was like, there's a bunch of videos and stories out there of kids that just.
But I do think as well that
entitled little mother.
the all-inclusive aspect, especially when it comes to competition in sport, also what it does, I think it pushes athletes or people who are driven, not necessarily athletes, because you can have participation awards for like talent shows or for you know what I mean?
Exactly,
just about everything. But I think what it does too is that because you know everyone's getting the same thing, you're gonna do even better, so you stick out. Does that make sense?
So you drive the competition even more. Well, yeah, right. Okay.
So I think it depends on the person.
You have to do something, but that's the thing, though, is that if you think about it competitively, in a competitive state of mind, everybody's gonna be. You're just lowering the level of competition because everybody, hey, I'm gonna do me. I'm just gonna have some fun with it. I'm just gonna do this, whatever. So that level of competition just starts dropping, and then you have 3-4 people that are kind of better than everybody else. Instead of saying, you know what, top 3 people only get something. All right, so now I gotta be the best. I gotta beat that person. You lose that year, be like, all right, I saw what first place got this year. I gotta do better. So next year you come back and you come back and you come back. It's the only way. I mean, that's for that. But we're going off on a tangent here. We're on Valentine's today, okay? So
Valentine.
That was my question of inclusivity. My next question, last question, really, for Valentine's Day is how simplistic would you count a Valentine's Day date to be a date on Valentine's Day?
So
like,
if I'm hearing you correctly, you're asking me what's the most minimal you can do for a date for it to still be a Valentine's date?
Yes. I'm not giving you any circumstances, any position that the person is in or anything like that. I'm just saying, what is your idea?
Right. So,
and then I'll give you some.
I can only go based upon my previous relationships, which isn't saying a lot because I'm currently not in a relationship. But
I've only had 2,
so well, I mean,
I'm in the second one.
Quality over quantity, my boy.
Oh yeah.
So, I think it depends on the quality of the relationship, because I've been in relationships where we've expressed extreme gratitude on only holidays. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like,
yes.
That it wasn't a continuous thing. And I've also been in relationships where, you know, we continuously throughout the relationship would express gratitude, do small things here and there. So we didn't necessarily need the holidays to do anything special because we were already doing it for each other. Does that make sense?
That's my girlfriend now.
So it's like, you know, you have each other's backs so tough, and then you know what I mean? Like, you're constantly doing things here and there, like, oh babe, I'll get dinner, or oh hey, I brought you this, oh hey, I got you that. You know what I mean? It's like those little things, and you don't need the holiday. So to do something big and extra on specific holidays is almost gaudy and unneeded. You know what I mean? Because you kind of get to the point where, like, well, I mean, okay, it's nice, but you didn't really have to do this. Mm-hmm. You know, because you're exhibiting that love and that respect throughout the year before you get to those holidays. But like I said, on the flip side, I've been in relationships where you're just kind of like, oh hey, I'll see you. Oh hey, I'll see you. You just kind of hang out. You kind of do stuff. You go out. You'll hang out normally.
And those days,
but
you have to, like, you just
right. It's kind of like those days where you have to reprove how much you love the other person, and it gets a little exhausting. You know what I mean?
No,
so
I get that.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, because I've had a lot of friends that do that. They're like, dang, I got to do something big. Like, for example, one of my coworkers, we were just having this conversation. He was like, yo, I need to do something for Valentine's Day, so what do you think? So he was asking all of our coworkers, and you know, there's some ladies, and so a lot of the ladies had different,
bro. I mean, come on, dog. Like, what?
Right, and that's kind of what I told them, because
nobody knows your lady more than you do.
Exactly,
and if you don't, then there's a problem there.
Now, there's nothing wrong with asking for ideas, because you shouldn't have an issue, redrafting or getting inspiration from those ideas
Right.
for what you're going to do. So here's what I told them. I was just like, bro, and I kind of told them exactly what you said. It's like, dude, whatever, her better than anybody else. Get her something or do something for her. Really, really, it was do something for her. Because singular items, like singular gifts, should be gestures of how much they love you, not like almost bribery of them loving you. Yeah, that singular object, that object or whatever they get you, shouldn't be the object of love. It should be an act of kindness or an act of whatever. And that's and it's kind of what I told him.
It should be the little sprinkles on top.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I told him. It's like, well, bro, if you shouldn't have to, because he's like, oh, dude, I'm just gonna go get her a Michael Kors purse with the wallet and an Apple Watch. I'm like, bro, we don't make that much money.
How much are you spending, man?
Yeah, and I'm like, now he's gonna finance
working at a call center. Like, hey, yo, how much y'all make, bro? I'm gonna go work there too.
And I'm just like, bro, I'm like, so now you're gonna have to finance the love, that you give, that you're showing her. But I'm like, because I've had relationships where, like the ones where I would show love all year round, and it was a really good Valentine's Day. What we did is, I invited her to the house. I made some food. I cooked food. I cooked dinner. And then we just hung out watching movies. We actually binged Stranger Things season 1 when it came out. We binged it the whole night. Nice. And it was it was good. Because we hadn't seen it. If I remember, Stranger Things didn't drop around Valentine's. It dropped a little bit later on through the year, but for the Valentine's Day that year, we had never seen Stranger Things. Okay. And then so she had never seen it. I started watching it, but I kind of just got lost in some other like shows and stuff at the time.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, like you started, and I'm like, oh hey, and so we ended up binging the entire first season, the whole night in one get go, and it was funny because like, what did I make? I think I made green chili chicken enchiladas with rice, beans, and homemade limonada.
That sounds good.
And then for dessert, it's because she really liked ice cream. Like, I love ice cream, and she likes ice cream. But she my ex, she liked like the real decadent stuff, so like double chocolate everything. So what I did is I got vanilla ice cream. From Walmart, I got cheesecake, right? I got vanilla ice cream, cheesecake, and then I got the soft, chewy chocolate cookies, and then I got the Reese's, or not the Reese's. They have this hard shell syrup that when it gets cold, it makes a hard shell. And so what I did is I got my Cold Stones on, and so I took it home, put it on the slab, and I cut it all together, put it together, and made the ice cream, and poured the chocolate on top of it, so it came out like this little hard shell thing. And so I left it in the freezer, and so when she was done, and then we just shared it.
Nice.
And then warmed up some brownies in the oven. See, it's stuff like that. You know what I mean?
It's all in the thought process, man. Honestly, and thank you for that, because that's the same way that I think. I mean, like, I keep seeing these pictures come out on Facebook. It's like, do y'all count this as a date? And it's guy and the girl sitting in a car in the middle of the console right there where the shift knob is 2 cheeseburgers and 2 sodas.
Yeah, that's a date.
That's a date.
Bro.
I mean, like, you can have 2 chocolate bars sitting down as a date.
And that's honestly, the thing. It's like, I agree with you, because it feels like your sentiment is like, what's the definition of a date? Is a date time spent together, or is it like
what you spend on the other person?
Like, and that's the thing, is a date time you spend with that person intimately, or is it a financed PDA for everyone else to see that you're on a date? Now I understand about doing special things like, hey, let's go out to dinner at a nice place, or let's go out to. That's one thing, but that's because you're doing it for yourself. At least that's how I've ever felt about it. Like, I think the most I've ever spent on a date was like $200. But that was because and that was because I wanted to go all out, because I wanted to go all out. There was no special holiday. There was no nothing. There was stuff that I wanted to celebrate. And I just went all out. Like, I bought my girl a whole outfit because I knew the sizes that she wore, that she wore to feel comfortable. You know, I got her an outfit. Her parents let me into the house, and I had it set up in her room. And then we just did a whole bunch of stuff. We went to go eat. We went to go watch a movie. We went after that. We went. Where did we go? We went all over, and we ended up at the Star, over there on the mountain.
Oh, nice.
And so at night, and then I don't think I have the pictures anymore, but we took pictures like next to the poles and the lights. I was back before they started roping everything off and nobody could go out there.
Oh yeah. Because when people started stealing the light bulbs.
Yeah. But that's what we did, and then we were just hanging out at Scenic Drive, and it was funny because I had like this little grill, because my ex at the time, she really liked s'mores. So I had like a grill, right? And I don't know if they sell them anymore, but Walmart used to have s'more kits. So it's like a box, and it's got all the graham crackers and the marshmallows and the chocolate. And so I drove her, and we went up to Scenic Drive, and it was like when the sun was going down. It was like a weekday, and I made a whole day out of it. It was her day off, and then I asked for the day off, and I was just like, let's just do it. It was just a random day. And then so we went up to Scenic Drive, and we made s'mores in this like little portable camp grill. And
that's dope. That's awesome. We were just like looking over Scenic Drive. Like even that by itself, would have made for a great Valentine's Day date. Yeah, in my opinion, that's just me.
And that's the thing; it depends on how strong your relationship is with whoever you're seeing, because it's like acts of love shouldn't have price tags per se.
No, and I'm sorry, but if somebody demands you to go all out for just on Valentine's Day and everything, but like they demand it, if they're not happy with anything but,
it's tough.
That sucks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like love shouldn't be a monetary value, I believe.
No,
you know what I mean. It's like all those gifts without the acts of love behind them are just stuff.
Yeah, they're just items. They're just things.
You know what I mean? Like those heart.
Yeah, it's cool. You didn't have to buy it.
Like without love or the intent behind it, all those like chocolates just become,
cavities.
they become cheap chocolates covered in red cardboard. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing, and it's like it depends. I really do think dates or things of that nature depend on the quality of love you share with that other person you're using these devices and these things to exhibit it to. And that's like the whole point is like you shouldn't have to spend all this money just so someone can feel loved. Now it's great to enhance it. It's like I would always make a joke, or I would always make this joke that one of my teachers, who I was really cool with what I was telling me, he was like, money doesn't buy happiness, but it can rent it for a really long time. And so that's the whole thing. It's like you shouldn't have to rent anything if you already got it.
Exactly. Like no.
You know what I mean? Like
that's
two Rolexes and champagne with the right person and the right quality of love would mean the same to me as someone who shows up with like 3 McChickens, a chicken nugget, and a sweet tea.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's the exact same thing. It's that quality versus quantity per se.
Exactly. And that's my take on it. Thank you for, saying that out loud for everybody.
Any final thoughts?
Hopefully I'll take something off of that, because damn.
Any final thoughts before we wrap this episode up?
No.
I
think I'm good.
But, that's how it is. We're not bashing Valentine's Day. I really like Valentine's Day.
I like it now.
I think what I don't like is the assumed price tag, because it's kind of like
the mindset around Valentine's Day was kind of like that's not what it's about. But I mean, okay.
And it's like it's funny because it's like Valentine's Day should be a heartfelt holiday. But it's like people get distracted by the consumeristic characteristics of Valentine's Day that's accepted by everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like everybody, like if I were to tell you, like randomly throughout the week on a month where there's nothing going on, I'd be like, yo, I'm going to take my girl on a date. I'm going to spend like, $150. You're like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, you'd be like, most people would be like, okay, yeah, do you. But if I say, yo, I'm going to take my girl on a $150 date for Valentine's Day, you'd be like, bro, she's going to love that. You know what I mean? Like, the whole mindset behind it is different.
True.
And it's like, why is it justified? It's just consistency. I guess that's all it is. Consistency raise the quality of your relationship, whether they be, your significant other or just homies. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just across the board with everybody.
Yep. You just got to keep showing it day in and day out. That's it.
Consistency. But anything else you want to add?
No, that's it for me. I love my girlfriend, and we're gonna have a great Valentine's Day.
And I love all of you.
I love all of you too. So consistency. I'm gonna be here day in and day out. Well, yeah, you putting these episodes down on the podcast. Fool.
All right. So that's all we got for you for this episode. I think on the next episode we're gonna be talking about spooky, scary,
the supernatural.
What? I'm gonna do some research on why people think ghosts go ooh. Like, do you think they'd be a scary noise?
Got chains or some shit.
I mean, rappers got chains. Does that make them ghosts? Maybe
2 Chainz.
Maybe just the white rappers are ghosts.
Probably. Anyways,
all right.